Last night I went to check out the new action heist movie Den of Thieves 2 Pantera. Was it good? Well, let's talk about it. Hi everyone, my name is Bob and welcome to Was It Good, where I give you my movie and TV show reviews. And today we're going to be talking about the action crime heist movie Den of Thieves 2 Pantera. This is a sequel to 2018's Den of Thieves, and it sees the return of Gerard Butler and O'Shea Jackson Jr. Now, if you haven't seen the movie yet, you don't need to worry about any spoilers because this is going to be a spoiler-free review. Now, if you have seen it, I'd like to know what you thought. Why don't you go ahead and share your comments in the comment section below? Let me know. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you like the first film? Were you looking forward to seeing this one? I'd really like to know what you thought. As always, don't forget to hit that like button, share the video, and support the channel by hitting subscribe. Now let's get to the review. In Den of Thieves 2 Pantera, Big Nick is back on the hunt in Europe and closing in on Donnie, who is embroiled in the treacherous and unpredictable world of diamond thieves and the infamous Panther Mafia as he plots a massive heist of the world's largest diamond exchange. Now, I didn't watch the original when it came out back in 2018, but I saw the trailer for the new one and it looked kind of interesting. So I went and watched the first film and I was invested in the story. I enjoyed the action. I thought it was a pretty good movie for the most part. It was kind of an interesting heist movie and it took some interesting twists and turns. So I was expecting some good things from this one. So now that I saw it, what are my thoughts? First off, I felt like I was dropped right back into this world of thieves and this lawman who's trying to catch the one that got away. Not a whole lot of time passes, but in the films, as far as between the events of the first one and the events of this one. So you're actually still getting some resolution with some of the things that happened with a couple of the characters. And so I really enjoyed the fact that really not a whole lot of time passed. Also, the tone and the feel of it is very much like the first one. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that Christian Gudegast, who wrote and directed the first one, also wrote and directed this one. So you don't get a sequel that feels like it goes off on a tangent somewhere. It very much feels like the first one does. And so because of that, the investment that I had in the story for the first one just was reignited as soon as the film started. Next, I thought the heist was actually pretty cool. I actually got into this one a lot more than the previous film. I don't know if it was the events surrounding it or what they were trying to steal or what they were trying to break into, but I just found it to be a lot more fun than the previous one. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not very believable, but that's a lot of the fun of these types of movies. Are they going to be able to get away with it? Is the law going to actually catch up with them? And so I just found myself more invested in the heist itself than the previous film. Also, I enjoyed the interactions between Gerard Butler's character and O'Shea Jackson Jr.'s character, Nick and Donnie. I thought their interactions were a lot more fun in this movie than they were in the previous one. In the previous one, they didn't really get to play off of each other a whole lot because of the nature of where their characters were and then the twists that the movie itself took. You really didn't get those types of interactions between them. You did get some, but not the type that you do in this film. And I thought their interactions were a lot of fun, almost like a buddy cop type of movie. Also, I think Gerard Butler is a great actor. I've always enjoyed his performances, and he's a lot of fun in this movie, and he's got a commanding presence when he's on screen. At least I think that he does. I always thought he has, and I very much enjoyed him and the way he played off of O'Shea Jackson Jr. And he did a great job in this as well as Donnie, and where they took his character, I thought was a lot of fun. So again, their interactions in this one were a lot more enjoyable. Now, there are a few things that I do want to mention here. First off, the runtime on this film is 2 hours and 24 minutes, and there are portions of the film where you feel that runtime, especially early on. Now, towards the last third of it, it really picked up for me, but I do want to point out that there are portions where it dragged, and you probably could have shaved about 10 to 15 minutes off the movie. Also, I thought the supporting characters were more interesting in the first Den of Thieves than they were in this one. I thought Merriman's crew was a much more interesting crew than the crew used to do the heist in this one. So I do want to go ahead and point that out as well. And finally, I thought the action sequence towards the end of the film was much better in the first one than it was in this one. Not that it was bad. I thought this one had a very good action sequence, but I don't think it even got close to topping what was done in the previous movie. But otherwise, there's not much more negative I have to say about this film. Real quick, before I get into my final thoughts, I want to remind everyone to go ahead and check out the other videos on my channel. Maybe I've reviewed something that you're interested in or something that you haven't seen yet, but you want to see. Go ahead and check out the video and let me know what you thought. Also, for those that are interested, I do have another YouTube channel with a couple of my friends where we put on a show called Dad's Turn to Talk. This is an opportunity for three dads to get together and talk about the things that we want to talk about, including movies, sports, and pop culture, and have a little bit of fun at each other's expense. The link for that channel will be in the description below. Final thoughts. Was it good? I thought this was a pretty entertaining and satisfying sequel. I thought it was solid from start to finish. I enjoyed the heist. I like where they took the Nick and Donnie characters. And overall, I just had a good time with this one. If you liked the first Den of Thieves, then I say go ahead and check it out because you're probably going to enjoy this one. Now, if you didn't like Den of Thieves or you don't like heist movies, then this one's probably not for you. Now, if you're still watching this long, I'd like to thank you for joining me. Don't forget to hit that like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time.